All right, so let's talk about hair loss. So, obviously, when I found out I had cancer, that was the biggest shock and the biggest scary thing, just having cancer, not knowing what's going to happen. Once all of it kind of landed, it was like, okay, we have a treatment plan. The plan is curative. We're hoping to cure this. So that that took down some of the oh my god, I'm going to die down. And then it hit me, I'm going to lose my hair. And I am not like a big makeup girly. I'm not a big fashion person, any of those things. But I do like dyeing my hair, and I like having hair and like having longer hair. So my hair was down about mid upper arm, like kind of to my shoulder blades. And I originally wasn't going to cut it at all, but a lot of things I had read and people I had talked to had said if you cut your hair shorter, it's less of an alarming, it's just less alarming to have that. So I had about 8 inches cut off, um, which I'm really glad I did. It also makes it look fuller now at this stage because I am losing a lot of hair. So I have my wig here. So I do not have a wig holder, but I am using this bunny. So I went to Woodstock, of all places, has this amazing wig store. Um, the woman owns a wig store and a driver's ed place because that's what you do in small town New Brunswick. And so she kind of said, "Is this your normal hair?" And I said, "Yes." But usually a bit longer. And she came out with this that's kind of perfect. So I am obviously not putting this on quite properly yet, but just kind of to quickly show you. Ooh. And this is a synthetic wig. Okay, that doesn't look quite right, but yeah, so we'll get it better. Um, but the synthetic wigs are looking a lot better than they used to. So yeah, so that gives you a quick and dirty of how it's going to look. Um, so if you know me, this is pretty much kind of how my hair is, a little curlyish at the bottom, a little bit of wave. Obviously, things need to be adjusted. And right now, I do have hair, so obviously it's not fitting as tightly. I do have some of the little wig caps that are kind of like pantyhose for your head. It's what I feel like they are. Um, I had, I have a lot of questions for like how to wear it and fit it, especially once my hair is gone, and how to get it um, tightened because there are little straps on it to make it a little easier. And I was like, well, I don't really know anyone that knows about anything about wigs. And then I remembered, just call your friendly neighborhood drag queen. So uh, Mitchell, who is also a More Love, I messaged and was like, hey, Mitchell, any chance you could help me? And they said, absolutely, I'd be honored. So I am going to get some wig styling tips from kind of a wig expert, wonderful drag queen that does an amazing amount of promotion on mental health and literacy, and just amazing person. So super excited about that. And I do also have several like of the little kind of like chemo beanie things, like head wraps, because I know I'm not going to wear a wig every day, but it's definitely in a weird spot. So it's hard. It's very hard emotionally knowing you're going to lose your hair, but not sure when or how. So my hair could continue to just slowly thin out like it is. Not slowly, quickly thin out like it is. And I may just get to a point where it's so thin I shave it. Or it could start just coming out in like actual chunks and have bald patches, in which case I'll shave it. I'm just not ready yet. Like, as you can see, I still have lots of hair. So every time I pull on it, I get chunks of hair, as you can see. So, some people are saying, like, oh, just be so careful with it. But the fact is, if I'm doing that, they're already dead. So, I'm just shedding everywhere. So every time I before I leave the house and go somewhere public, I'm trying to like get out any dead guys already so that I'm not just shedding everywhere. Um, but it's very hard. It's hard to um, it's hard to lose your hair. Uh, it seems so silly in some ways. You know, it's like I'm my cancer is at a stage that we do think curing it is possible. That's the most important thing. Hair seems so trivial when you have a disease like cancer, but it's your hair, and that's hard. I'm not sure how my daughter's going to react to me having no hair. I've talked about it. I've shown her books with bald mummies in it. One of the Sesame Streets is about hair and actually has a little segment where they have different kids talking about their hair. And one says, I was sick and the medicine took my hair away. So we've watched that one to see that little segment. But it's hard. I've kind of explained it to her and showed her a picture in the book Cancer Hates Kisses, which is a great book. And she almost seemed kind of alarmed by it. So it's hard. My plan, my friend Mike is a barber, and he has offered to come up and shave my head for me when I'm ready, which is really nice because that way I don't have to go out somewhere with other people there. We can just do it here. And that way my daughter can be involved in it if she wants to help. And we're going to frame it as, you know, you can help mommy take away my hair, because I'm hoping, and the feedback I've gotten from other moms that have been through this, is that by including her in it, that she sees my hair going away will be easier on her than suddenly just coming home and mommy has no hair. So that's our hope. You know, we're going to read the story and that kind of thing first and see. But, you know, she just turned 2, so she really doesn't get any of this. So it's funny, the other day when we were getting our new dishwasher, we had to go in. The company, The Brick, has, they do donations to children's hospitals, and they actually, it's just right here. They had Dr. Brickley, surgeon in training, the little bear for the Children's Miracle Network. And so it was $20, but it all goes to, in our region, would be the IWK, our local children's hospital. And she wanted Brickley, Dr. Brickley. And we said yes, partially because it goes to a great cause and it was adorable. But also it's kind of nice having a little surgeon bear that she can have. I know that I've gotten advance notice from the Easter Bunny that she's actually going to get a little, it's like a pediatric nurse set, but with a little doll and, you know, her own little scrub coat and things, just because, you know, there is a possibility I'll be hospitalized if I have a low immune system, and then surgery and things, and I'll be going into treatment more. So we're trying to get her a little more acquainted with the medical stuff. Her big sister is also a nurse. She's an LPN. So that's nice as well that she can have that and, you know, see the, be like her big sister. So yeah, so it's weird right now just knowing that I'm losing my hair and not knowing when. That's really hard. So every time I wake up in the middle of the night, it's getting better. I think I went through a few nights where it was just so anxiety provoking of, am I going to wake up and like half my hair is going to be on the pillow? I feel like I've gotten slightly more zen about it. It's funny, my partner and I, we talk how we both have very different styles of dealing with things. And for me, I was so like anxious into it. And then now that I'm actually losing my hair, I'm like, yeah, well, I knew it was coming all along. Whereas he's more anxious now that I am losing it. You know, I think it's harder on him to actually see it come out. Whereas he had been more zen before of like, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But now when I touch my hair and, you know, there's about 10 from that little touch. So it's hard. It's hard not to just, at this point, just pull. You know, because they're shedding. And we'll see how it is on Monday. Like, that's the thing, I could be bald by Monday when I go back to work. but I have been actually carrying one of my little like chemo cap head wraps with me to work, just in case, because if that shedding starts being really, really a lot during work, one, my managers are all great and have said if that happens and I'm really emotional, no problem at all. I can leave for the day, which is lovely of them. But you know, I may not want to, but I may wear my little chemo beanie to try to like contain some of the chaos. But it's hard. I was born with hair, so I literally have never been bald. So that feels weird. Also, one thing that my oncologist hasn't mentioned this, and but I know it to be true. So the D part, so I'm on FECD. So FEC is the first 3 chemo treatments I'm on. It's a mix of 3. D is for doxytosol. It is the last 3 treatments I'm on, and there is a rare side effect of permanent hair loss from doxytosol. The hospital hasn't mentioned it, but I have read the studies and the warnings with it, so I know that's possible. I also know that I was watching one of Hank Green's videos recently, who's, if you haven't watched his videos but his cancer experience, you should, because they were very, very good. And Hank Green did one actually on chemo curls, but he specifically kind of talked about hair loss in general and different things. And I've already forgotten where I'm going with this. So chemo brain, completely different thing to discuss. Anyway, wherever I was going with that. Something about Hank Green's chemo curls one, but I can't remember now. Oh, I know what it was. So he actually said in it that I believe it was 8% of people who are eligible for chemotherapy deny chemotherapy with the reason of hair loss. And I have read very similar statistics, generally around 8%. I've seen it even a little higher. Now, I believe, and this would be just my gut feeling, that's probably more folks with stage 1 cancer where they're on the cusp of it's your choice, you're eligible for chemo, but it's not we really, really, really recommend it like it would be for other ones. Because sometimes, just depending on your profile, and if it hasn't spread to your lymph nodes, sometimes you can have chemo if you choose or not. So my assumption is that more people would decline in that situation, but I don't know. Maybe some people would need more. For me, losing my hair is tragic, and I don't want to. But it would never stop me from getting chemo. So I am curious if that's why they're not mentioning it so much. And it's also a very rare side effect, and I get that. But there definitely has been a link, and there are some warnings about it, and there is some good, scientific journal material about folks who have had permanent hair loss with doxytosol. So I do get frustrated a little bit because a lot of people very flippantly say it'll grow back, and it's like it probably will. But there is up to, a 1% to 2% chance that it won't. Which I don't talk about often with friends and family because, I know that that's a possibility, and it's worth the risk to me. So, but it is hard. Hopefully it will grow back. It's also hard to know if because people don't study it, probably because it's not life-threatening, but still upsetting. There is not a lot of research into the hair loss section or preventing it or any of those kind of things. And Hank Green touches on that in the chemo curls video, just of, why are there chemo curls? It just quickly, when your hair does grow back after chemotherapy, often it grows back curly, which is what chemo curls are. And there's not a lot of research into why, because people just don't put their money there. And I get it that curing cancer and coming up with better treatments is obviously more important, but people seem to miss some of the psychological trauma of losing your hair in that pit, and it's not very studied. So I'm not even sure the permanent hair loss with oxytocin. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just people that already had thinning hair or who are older. I'm not sure. But I am aware that there is a tie to doxytocin and permanent hair loss. So it's definitely alarming and frustrating. But it is what it is. So yeah, so I was told that by the second time I came back for chemo, which is another 6 days from now, that I would be bald. Just that tends to be the trend, and I think I'm on my way. Again, as long as my hair keeps thinning, not in bald spots, but just thinning all over, I can probably last my hair a few more days. But just the rate of hair that I'm losing, like I just put my hands through my hair there, and there were about 10 again. You know, really just touching my hair, it comes out now. So that's hard. But we'll get through it. Again, as long as my daughter doesn't freak out, and she may, like, it might be alarming for her. So we'll see. I did the other day let her play a little bit with my wig. She tried it on a couple times and touched it, and just trying to get her a little familiar with that. So yeah, so the hair loss is a lot. I don't want to lose my hair. But I want to live more, right? Like, that's all it comes down to. It's risks and benefits and all that. And although I don't want to lose my hair, I would much rather lose my hair and live. So as grim as that sounds, it's really what it is, right? When I get flustered about not having a choice, it's like I technically do have a choice. It's a really shitty option to die. So I'm choosing that. Anyway, so hopefully I'll have my hair a few more days. Not really sure. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, I will update you along the way and take at least some photos, if not video, of the shaving process. But as you can see, even though I'm losing lots of hair, I still have lots. You know, it's the nice part about having super thick hair. When your hair does come back, or if hopefully it does come back after chemo, like I said, it does tend to come back curly and also thicker. And I already have such thick hair. I'm like, don't come back thicker. It'll never dry. Anyway, so that is my rant about hair loss. So we're day 15 of chemo now. I was told day 12 to 16 is when you lose it. And again, I'm actively losing it right now. So anyway, bye. Hey, so it's Sunday, April 20th. It's Easter, and I am losing my hair. It is coming out in quite spectacular chunks here. It's hard to see. One thing they don't tell you, at least at the hospital through the cancer programs, although I've read it online, is how much it hurts. Your scalp is just, it kind of feels like a bruise. You know when you have a bruise and it feels a little good to push on? It's kind of like that right now. So it does hurt. So I made it through my daughter's birthday party, which I really wanted to still have hair for, even though they all know. Yeah, so because my hair is so thick, I'm still able to kind of get away with this right now. Even though I've lost, I'd say, a third of my hair would be my guesstimate. I work tomorrow on Easter Monday. So Kelly is staying home with our daughter. And I'm going to work. And we're going to see how that goes. I may have to wear, like a wrap around my head or something and try to contain it. Right now it's not, I'm having a few loose hairs, but generally it's not unless I actually like go, and there's a few more, unless I actually touch it, but we'll see. So I am going to bring one of like my chemo wraps with me, as well as just like an elastic and something, because I may just, on my last shift, what I did was kind of do a half pony just to contain it a little bit. So we'll see. But it really hurts. Like, they don't, it's funny, they're just like, you're gonna lose your hair, that sucks, and they move on, but there's actually a lot of pain to it. I'm really glad, I believe it was Dee Doherty, who's one of the YouTubers I watch, had mentioned, and it said, you know, it kind of feels like the hair follicle is bouncing around in there, like it opens up. I remember her saying that and saying, you know, she wasn't sure if that's what it is, but it's what it feels like, and it kind of is. Kind of is a good description. But yeah, right now it's right here really hurts, and it's very much thinning there. Like it feels good to rub on the pressure, but it really hurts. So I think I'm going to take some Tylenol. Today too, the fatigue has been really bad, but I mean, Friday we had a good full day. Saturday was my daughter's birthday, and then we went and saw the Easter Bunny, and we, you know, did lots of things. And then today we had Easter dinner with Kelly's family. So, you know, we've done a lot, but even with, I did take a nap today, and I'm quite tired. So it is just after 9, and so I'm going to bed now because I'm tired and I want to be able to work my 6-hour shift tomorrow. Luckily that's the only thing I have to do tomorrow, so if I'm exhausted after my shift I can go to bed. But yeah, so this is, what would this be, 15, 16, 17, I think this is day 17? Losing track, because yeah, 15 would be Friday. So day 17 of chemo. Still have hair, but actively losing it. Losing so much. It's just coming out everywhere. Like I have little like pads of hair like in my car, and it's like so gross. And I'm like, oh, all right. I'm trying not to like shed everywhere, but we'll just see. Like I said, as long as it's coming out kind of evenly, then I can get away with it for a little while. I generally would have washed my hair today. Ouch, sorry, my cat is stepping on my hand. But kind of could get away with it. I should wash it before work tomorrow, but we'll see. Oh, sorry, my cat is scratching me. We'll see how greasy it is. And if I can get away with it. Sorry, my kitty is being very cute, but annoying. Yeah, so that's that. We'll see what, see how it looks tomorrow. If I shower, well, obviously, again, good shower. If I wash my hair, that may just kill it. So, also, as I think I mentioned in another video, I ran out of shampoo. So, we do have shampoo that Kelly has, and baby shampoo and that kind of thing. But it is kind of funny that I ran out of shampoo right as I was losing my hair. So, anyway, but excited. So this week is busy. I work Monday and Wednesday. Tuesday, I have blood work and a phone appointment with my oncologist. Thursday, a meeting with the psychologist at the hospital. And then Friday is chemo again. So luckily for that next week, I don't have anything planned. This Thursday night, I'm working at the club, but then I don't work there again for a week, and I don't work at Chapters again for a week. So I kind of have a week off to recover from chemo. Hoping it's going to be similar to last time and just be kind of like a mild flu hangover. Hopefully, we'll see. This time I am going to, Wednesday night or Thursday morning, start taking Restorelax preventively because I was very, like, my digestive system was very sluggish and I got a little constipated. So the pharmacist at the oncology unit had recommended just starting that proactively because I am allowed to take that. I've stocked up on Tums. I have been getting heartburn, which is something that's strange. I've only really experienced heartburn during pregnancy. But I started getting heartburn during chemo. It hasn't been bad this week. But about for the first 10 days, I was getting quite bad heartburn at times. So, but that's fine. Tums fixed it, so that's all I needed. So yeah, I'm going to have a snack, go to bed, hopefully get a good night's sleep. I am having nightmares. I had a nightmare again this afternoon when I had my nap. I'm assuming just due to the stress and all that. So anyway, hoping won't have that tonight, but hopefully get a good night's sleep and then have a good shift tomorrow. Bye. Alright, so it is Monday. I have a ball of hair. Yeah, losing a lot of hair. Because my hair is thick, it still kind of looks okay, but it's super thin now. Yeah, my head hurts. Like, my scalp actually hurts. And yeah, it's hard. It's hard knowing that any day now I won't have hair. Anyway, made it through a shift at work. I actually stayed a bit later because we were short-staffed and I was feeling well, so that's good. Have blood work and my oncology phone call tomorrow. And yeah, just busy week, and I'm going to go to bed early. I'm tired, but yeah. Hey, so it's still Tuesday the 22nd, and my update is I washed my hair. I will figure out a way to insert the photo of that. I don't really have a bald spot yet, though, so I think I'm going to be okay for tomorrow for work. We'll see, because it's like, we'll see how much comes out overnight. But my friend Mike, who's a barber, is going to shave my head on Friday. He's up from St. John Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so one of those days anyway. Yeah, but losing lots of hair. It's more, can't see it, but yeah, lost a lot of hair tonight. But I needed to wash it. It looked greasy. It's coming out anyway. Really, I think it's hair that was dislodged from my scalp. It was kind of just needed that little push, I guess. Yeah, so it sucks, but you know, you can tell my part is much wider. But I don't actually have any bald spots, even in the back. My hair is a little shorter in the middle in the back, but it still looks okay. Again, like, I can tell, Kelly can tell, but I think the average person, I still look somewhat okay. So I'll try to make it through work tomorrow. And then chemo Friday morning, hopefully, as long as my blood work is good. So anyway, that's the update. Hair just coming out like crazy in the shower. So yeah.